Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of The Successful Woman's Mindset. My name is Galit Ventura-Rozen, and I am so excited to have another co-author with me today, Fran McCully. Welcome, Fran.
Thank you for having me.
I'm excited to share that we have our book, The Successful Woman's Mindset, 21 Journeys to Success, which will give you an opportunity to learn so many empowering and inspiring stories, but not just stories about women in our book that have written about their journeys to success, but also logical steps that you can walk away with and implement into your life in different areas of your personal life or your business. So make sure to check it out and grab it on Amazon. You can also learn more about our authors at thesuccessfulwomansmindset.com. Well, let's go ahead and jump in. We have a fabulous woman with us today and one of our co-authors. She is president of Fran McCully Bookkeeping and Consulting. And one of the things that I love to start all of the interviews out with is asking every author, what does the phrase, the successful woman's mindset, mean to you?
The successful woman's mindset means to me that we are all in a leadership position. We are all successful. We've all have a full-time business perhaps, or maybe just a part-time gig. But it gives us a chance to express how successful our businesses have been and why, and what our niche might be, and to also express our leadership qualities for other women to maybe give them the initiative they need to do the same that we're doing.
I love that you use that word initiative, because I know as a woman, most of us are always looking for someone to inspire us, somebody to empower us, something new that we might be able to learn. And I completely agree with you. And it's been really fun for me to ask all the authors what that phrase means to them, because all of them are so different, but so similar. And somehow they all cross over and connect. And let's talk a little bit about the initiative word that you used, which was so perfect. Leadership is such a tricky thing.
It really is, yes.
People think that you have to be born a leader.
Mm-hmm.
They don't recognize a lot of times that you can be taught the characteristics. And just like going to school and learning English or math, you could choose to learn about being a leader. What are some of the ways that you've learned, Fran, or that you could offer to those listening and watching today, how they can step into their own leadership?
Yeah, that's interesting. I feel that I became a leader back when I was actually in corporate. And when I started my new business, I built on that.
Mm-hmm.
And as my business grew, I realized that I can actually help and mentor people in other ways that I didn't know I could before, based on what I was teaching them, even if it was just their QuickBooks file, their bookkeeping. So it grew with me. I learned to be a leader over time as I grew, and I believe that some of my knowledge actually came from my leadership roles when I was in corporate, but it bubbled over into my business, and it was a few years into my business that I realized I was the leader.
Yes.
And that I could do it in a successful way and help people and also mentor people.
I love that. And I want to really talk about that for a few more minutes before we jump into your chapter and how amazing it is. I think you used some very key words. You used the word mentor. You stepped into your leadership. You learned your leadership role through growth. And I think anyone that's listening or watching should know that never undermine your leadership skills. All of us have it within us. It's just a matter of allowing it to grow and recognizing that let's watch other leaders. What is it that these other leaders do that I really like? What is it that I want? and then stepping into that power. But mentors, obviously, Fran, are a big part of it, because when we connect with, for me, it's other women, but it could be men as well. When I connect with other women that are in leadership positions that I strive to be in, and we all have them, because I don't believe any of us have met our full potential yet, then we step back and say, wow, that is a real leader. I want to be like her.
Exactly.
So I think I love that you shared those examples, and thank you for that. Let's go ahead and jump in for a second and talk about your chapter without giving everybody all the great details, because we really want them to read it. And I think anybody can learn from your chapter. This is not for a specific demographic. This is not for if you own your business or you don't. This is really something that all of us should be embracing and learning about. So Fran's chapter title is called Money Magic. Tell us a little bit about why this chapter, why this theme, and what you wrote about, just a little, without giving out all the great stuff.
So I have a program that I call Money Magic, and it helps people learn their money archetypes.
Mm-hmm.
This is just one small piece of my overall business. So they take a quiz and they learn what their archetypes are, and then we talk about how their archetypes in the money realm can help them be successful in their personal life, in their business life, even in their corporate life. It doesn't matter what it is their role is.
Yeah.
With their children, with their family, especially the struggling couple who might be having money fights. Once they learn what their archetypes are, they learn how to deal with each other in a better way. So it not only helps you in your business life, it also helps to learn what your archetypes are. It also helps you in your personal life with your children, with your husband, and everything else.
Relationships,
Yes,
business partners. I mean,
absolutely.
we
Yeah.
all look at money so differently. And I think that that's such a brilliant way to step back and recognize that everybody doesn't look at money the same.
That's so true. No two people look at money the same, and no two people have the same exact archetypes that end up being couples or friends or in whatever type of relationship they are in. And once you learn what those archetypes are, and once you learn to live by them, your life changes in amazing financial ways.
Yes.
When I first got into this, I was a little skeptical, but once I dug into it and did it for myself, my husband and I and our family, our life changed dramatically,
I love
really
that.
dramatically in many ways.
I love that. I love that. And so your program helps with this.
It helps with this. I have different versions of the program.
Mm-hmm.
They learn what their archetypes are. The program has actually 6 modules in it that we dig deep into the personal being. So back when you were 3 years old, that's when you had the beginning stages of your money story. So in the program, you learn how to change your money story, how to have a new money voice in different areas of money, and then the whole couple thing and everything else that surrounds the archetypes.
Oh, I love that.
And that's just one phase of my business where we have the Money Magic program. I have other areas that you'll learn about in the story as well.
Yes, yes, of course. With a bookkeeping and consulting company, you've worked with some really large corporations to go in and organize them and manage them and set up budgets. And it's funny because if you really think about it, money is not a topic that people like to talk about. It's one of those things where, oh, I don't want to deal with it. It doesn't feel good to me.
Right.
But when you start changing your relationship with money, everything changes. And someone like you with your experience can step in from a non-emotionally attached position and really look at it from the outside in and help professionals, individuals, couples recognize that, hey, aside from you offering the logical steps, which you do too, hey, I can step in and consult and money manage and all of that, you also can do the educational piece.
Exactly. So a lot of my clients sign on in the beginning stages. They might sign on for the Money Magic program. From there, we discover other things within their business or personal life that the other programs might serve them well, such as
Yes.
my CFO program. So I'm what you call the outsourced CFO. So I might just be helping a business on a little tiny piece
Mhm.
of what they need. Maybe they're trying to sell their business and they need to know how to price it,
Mhm.
or they're in a growth spurt and they don't know what's going on, how to deal with it. So many different areas like that.
Well, I think more than anything, what I love about this chapter is it doesn't come from the perspective of complete logical steps that someone might say, oh my gosh, that's so
Mhm.
overwhelming. You really take some stories, you really take some experiences with your clients, with yourself, how you grew into the success.
Mhm.
And then you're
Mhm.
sharing with those that are going to read the story logical things that they themselves can do right away as
Yes,
well. So I think
exactly.
that's why it's so well written. And I really love the chapter because it gives money this fun way to look at it, money magic. And
Yeah, it really.
anyone can take that in so many different ways. Why did you decide on that name for your program?
Well, it kind of is all wrapped around the archetype scenario story, you might say, because um, as they're learning what their archetypes are and as they're learning about themselves, basically, and their story, I wanted it to be magical for them.
Mm,
And so that's how I came upon the money magic
I love
phrase.
it. I think it's a great name. I think it's a brilliant name. It gives it a fun spin. It gives it a magical, almost like fantasy type spin to the word because money by itself so many times has become taboo. Well, let's go ahead and jump into something kind of fun. Would you share with everybody anything fun or interesting about you that you would like them to know that they may or may not know?
Fun or interesting? Let's see. I have horses.
Oh, beautiful.
And I ride the horse circuit with Buck Brannaman. He's a trainer.
Mhm.
So that's how I spend my summers with doing different activities with my horse. As a child, my husband owned, or my husband, my father had a dude ranch. And
Mhm.
so it comes from that, the beginning stages of my horse adventures with helping people. We were like 3, 4, 5 years old, helping the people who wanted to learn how to ride horses actually get on a horse and ride.
Oh, how
So
much
it
fun.
was fun and
Do you
interesting
have horses now?
part of my life. Yes, we have 4 horses now.
Oh, I love that. That's
And
something I want one day. I,
and
I I grew up my entire life riding horses. I had friends that did horse shows. And then I also was able to ride on a regular basis. Then my parents, every time we went away, we'd ride. I've taken my kids to ride since they were little. My hope one day is to have a larger piece of property where I
oh,
can have horses as well. I think that'd be so wonderful. Thank
it's a
you for
lot of
sharing
fun.
that.
It's
Please
a
go
lot
ahead,
of fun
Fran.
and it takes a lot of care. It takes up a
Yes,
lot of time. So
yes.
I
I'm
try to
very
fit that
aware. I
in.
have 3 dogs, 2 bunnies, and a conure bird with
Exactly.
3 kids and a man. We
Yeah.
don't need to talk about how much time all of that takes,
No kidding. Yeah.
right?
And I
Right?
also do, I'm an avid gardener as well. So there's that piece in my life. So
I love that. I actually the other day just posted a picture of my little tiny garden that I have,
oh,
and my romaine mini lettuce is growing, and I got to cut
that's
my
good.
lettuce and feed my bunnies, and I got to cut my lettuce and put it straight in my sandwich, and I got so excited about my lettuce and how fast it grows.
Mhm.
So gardening has been a really fun thing during these times to kind
Yeah.
of explore and get into. I've seen a lot of people do it more than they did before, which is kind of fun.
Yeah. Because it seems like during this time that we've witnessed here in the last year, people have discovered different things that they didn't know they were interested in that they ended up doing.
More
So
time. It was more time. It
it
was
was
more
time.
home time. For me, it was I traveled so much and all of a sudden I'm not traveling. Well, I've got to fill the time with something. So it's been painting, crocheting
Oh,
a blanket. It's been all these little things that who the heck had time to do that, right, Fran?
exactly.
Well, why
Yeah.
don't you tell everybody how they can get a hold of you, learn more about your programs, about your business, through social media, your website?
Okay, so my website is franmccully.com, just
Beautiful.
franmccully.com, pretty simple. And they can get a hold of me via email at franmccully.com. So that's pretty simple as well. So you can find us on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, all of the main places. And we do have a 1-800 number. Shall I give that out? Is
Sure
that
you
okay?
can. It's your business number. You go right ahead.
So that's 866-363-5580. And the main way of getting a hold of me is through the website and the email address and we do have calendars that they can schedule an appointment with.
Perfect. I also have all of the author's information on the website, thesuccessfulwomansmindset.com. We have direct links to your social media, so they can get in touch with you that way.
Mhm.
Also, anybody that's watching or listening, make sure you grab a copy of this book. 21 chapters, 21 authors. We have ages 29 to the 60s. We have different professions, different cultures, religions, races. It's just amazing what's come to be with this book, and it's so much fun. So you can purchase that on Amazon or any online retailer, as well as there's a link at thesuccessfulwomansmindset.com. Thank you so much for watching and listening to another episode of The Successful Woman's Mindset. My name is Galit Ventura-Rozen, and we'll see you next time.